welcome back to my channel. My name is Allie if you have not been here before, and thanks so much for watching this video. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing something a little bit risky. Not sure if it's gonna work out, but we're gonna find out. Basically, I was inspired by a girl that I follow on Instagram. Her name is Mallory on the Moon, if you wanna give her a follow. She decided to dye her yellow Converse brown using coffee. And I was like, brilliant, so smart. I have these pink Converse that, to be honest, I've only worn out of the house one time. And I was like, I would wear them so much more if they were actually brown. So I'm not doing the coffee route. I'm gonna go the actual dye route today, and I'm gonna try and dye these brown. I'm a little nervous. I've watched several YouTube tutorials on how people do this. So I'm using like a bunch of different methods from each of those videos that I watched, and hopefully I can figure out something for these shoes. So if you're curious to see if this works out for me, maybe you want to learn something, how to do this yourself, or maybe you want to learn what not to do if you're trying to do this yourself, or just not do it at all. Just go ahead and keep on watching. Before we get started, please make sure you subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Hit that notification bell so you're notified every single time I upload. If you guys enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. And leave a comment down below letting me know what else you guys would like to see from me. As always, I'll be sure to link all of the things that I'm showing you guys here in this video down in the description box. My Instagram, TikTok, Poshmark, which has a bunch of new listings in my closet, my camera details, and I think that's it. Let's go ahead and get into the video. I've got lots of work to do. So like I said, I'm gonna be dyeing these pink Converse brown. So let me show you guys the dye I'm using. I bought this Rit Cocoa Brown chocolate color off of Amazon. I also have like a little bucket here. I don't have like a 3-gallon bucket. I probably do somewhere in the garage, but I don't think I'm gonna do the traditional like dye this way route. I think I'm actually gonna try painting them on. I saw a couple different methods that people used on the internet. I saw one girl use one of these little foam brushes. I also saw another guy use a toothbrush. So I'm gonna try that out. What I was noticing, a lot of people ran into an issue where it was getting on the rubber area. Like I've seen people use Vaseline. I've also seen people use tape. I have this painter's tape. I think this is just duct tape. And then I also have packing tape. I'm gonna try and decide what like works the best. But basically what was happening is people were getting dye all over the rubber area when they were just doing the traditional like bath dye. So I'm gonna try the painting method. The other thing that I saw people run into with using the Vaseline to kind of adhere to the rubber part, apparently Vaseline prevents the dye from sticking to that specific area. But I saw a lot of people getting the Vaseline on the canvas area that I actually want to dye, and then the dye doesn't like actually hold to that area. So I'm nervous to do that too. I'm not really sure exactly what route I'm going, but I also have a couple other things that I want to show you guys. I've got some dish soap, some salt, and then I also bought this Rit Color Stay dye fixative that I'm going to use after I dye the shoes, and just some gloves. I gotta take out the laces first. I think the pink is cute, but honestly, I don't know why. I just don't really have like a need for pink shoes that much at this point in my life, and I love platform chucks. So I'm just thinking like brown would be a much more wearable color. I already have black and white, and I wear them constantly. So I was thinking brown would probably be better. Let's start with the painter's tape and see how that sticks to the rubber. Okay, so my shoes are covered. Hopefully this is good enough. So I'm gonna use this little bucket here, and then it says to add a cup of salt. I think I'm gonna do like maybe half a cup. And then I'm still gonna do, I think, about a full teaspoon of dish soap. I'm gonna add about half. Okay, here goes nothing. Got a little stir stick. Looks brown. Let's go ahead and get to dyeing. I'm so nervous. Okay, I'm really hoping that this method works. I'm gonna start at like the top. Sticking. I wonder if I should like dip it and then kind of like spread it. Looks brown. Don't use this type of tape. It's like just falling off as it gets wet. I should have just known better. It's looking a little bit more like burgundy brown right now, but honestly, I'm not mad at the color. I think it's really pretty. And I might have to like do a second coat because it's looking a little bit patchy in some spots. Yeah, no, I fully got dye on the rubber part. Okay, I definitely think maybe I chose the wrong approach because the dye just doesn't seem to be like even. So I'm going to use the Vaseline method now. Ooh, plan 2 is just to dye them in a bath like I probably should have the first time. So added more hot water to this guy and a little bit more salt. Ooh. Will you guys chill? So I'm gonna let that sit for like 30 minutes and then check on them. You know, hopefully this whole Vaseline thing is legit. Hello again. It's been 30 minutes, so I'm going to take them out and apply this dye fixative. I'm gonna do like the spray bottle method where I'm just gonna put the top of the spray bottle, see if it'll poke. Maybe not. Very nice. Color is looking much more even. That's disgusting. Hey Siri, set timer for 20 minutes. So I'm gonna let that sit for 20 minutes and clean up this situation, and then we're gonna rinse them out. See you in a second. Got the shoes. Okay, so I'm gonna rinse these bad boys until the water runs clear. Here's what they're looking like. They kind of have like a maroon kind of tint to them, which I'm not mad about. After I'm done rinsing them, I'm going to take a little scrubby sponge and scrub all of the Vaseline off the rubber, which by the way, I wish I would have started with the Vaseline to begin with because it definitely worked really, really well. So that was my mistake. So once these are fully rinsed and all the Vaseline is off for the most part, I'm going to probably let them sit in the garage to dry overnight, and then I will check in with you guys tomorrow. Hopefully they're dry tomorrow, and show you guys how they look. Hopefully they're cute. Something that I was reading online for like the spots, because that one shoe, this shoe is not bad at all, like as far as like spots on the rubber. Like, they look real good. I don't see a single spot where, like, the dye stuck. But this one, yeah, struggled a little bit with this one. So, something that I saw online is you can take a magic eraser, little scrubby pad, and then put acetone on it. And supposedly, it will take off the dye. So I'm gonna try that out tomorrow. It's really not that bad. If it doesn't come off, I will not be upset. This one kind of just looks like I went romping around the desert and Sedona, so that's fine. Which I probably will in these shoes if I'm being honest. So yeah, gonna finish rinsing these out, and I'll check in with you guys tomorrow to see what they look like. You guys ready for the big reveal? Ta-da! Look how cute! They turned out so well, like definitely better than I thought that they would. So the color is a little bit more on like the maroon kind of side. Certain lights, it's weird. Certain lights it looks a little bit more brown, and then certain lights it looks kind of like burgundy maroon. But the color is pretty good. Like it looks pretty even to me. There's certain spots that aren't perfect, and something also that I ran into is there are Vaseline spots like all over the canvas. But honestly, it's not a big deal because I can see them super close up when I'm wearing them. Nobody's gonna be that close to my shoes, so it's not a big deal. So if you guys can see, there are definitely some spots that got stained on the rubber. It is super, super hard to tell. But the good news is I did take a magic eraser with some acetone to it, and that helped tremendously with taking off some of the staining. It's still a little bit stained, but like I said, I just don't really care. They're gonna get dirty anyways. The other thing that I noticed when I was trying them on this morning with a bunch of different outfits is the inside of them, there was definitely some dye rub off onto my socks. And I can also see on the laces, there's some dye rub off as well. So if you guys have any suggestions, I was thinking that I'd probably just run them through the wash just to hopefully get the rest of that dye out. I'll just run them with some like towels I don't care about. Unless you guys have any suggestions for how to get the remainder of the dye out, because I was rinsing them last night and the water was definitely running clear. So yeah, that's the only other thing that I'm still like not 100% on, but I think it was a success. They look really cute, and I'm definitely gonna be able to get way more use out of this color than the pink. So I wanted to finish out this video by kind of giving you guys some tips and tricks and some do's and don'ts for if you guys would like to do this at home. So number one, don't even like mess with the tape. I definitely think the tape was not a good way to start. First of all, I mean, the tapes that I had weren't what people suggested when it comes to tape. Everything that I read was saying like electrical tape is the best. But the person that I learned the Vaseline trick from, he actually said, don't even mess with electrical tape because I don't think it works either. I'm definitely gonna link his video below because I think he had the best like tutorial on how to do this successfully. The Vaseline was like amazing for repelling the dye off of the rubber. So definitely go the Vaseline route. I think that you'll be much happier with cleaning up the Vaseline versus taking a magic eraser and really trying to get that dye off, because truthfully I spent a ton of time trying to get it off and it just was sticking around. Helped a ton, but I definitely think the Vaseline is the best option. Number two, don't do like the painting method like I was trying to do. If I had like a thicker dye solution, I think that it actually would have worked really well. But it was just too hard to get like an even coat on the canvas. Maybe if I had dried them and gone back with another coat, it would have been better. But I just really think that it's a little bit more of a hassle than just literally dumping them in dye. It would have saved me so much time if I had just started with that technique to begin with. Number three, do not skip the dye fixative. I will say, that really held in the colors so nicely. So I definitely recommend using that dye fixative. It just gives you a little bit less issues when it comes to like color wearing off. I've tie-dyed things before. I've done so much like fun dyeing projects in the past, and I've never used a dye fixative, and every single time you go to rinse off that color, that gorgeous color that you're so excited about just completely fades and doesn't nearly look as good. And that spray bottle technique was actually really nice. Super easy to saturate the fabric that way. Spray bottle plus the dye fixative is amazing. Definitely do it. The last thing is make sure you allot a good amount of time to get this done. I was expecting it to be like a cute little hour project and then I'd be done. It took a lot more time than that. And considering that I started off the wrong way, that's probably the main thing. But I think regardless, the whole preparation and cleanup, it's gonna take you some time. So don't try to do this like an hour before you wanna wear the shoes somewhere. It's a long process. So would I recommend doing this? It was fun, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I had a good time doing it. I love crafty things like this. I love a DIY moment. I love making something old into something new. These are things that I enjoy. So if you enjoy crafty things or you're just like desperate to get your shoes a different color, absolutely do it and go for it. I hope it doesn't cause you any frustration. There was moments of frustration for me, but for the most part, I was just having a good time. It was pretty successful for the most part. We ran into a few issues, but I enjoyed myself and I hope you guys enjoyed the video as well. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. And let me know if there's anything else you guys would like to see from me in the future. I actually have a pair of white chucks that are super old and extremely dirty. So I'm kind of thinking about getting that dark brown color, the one that's a little bit more on the cool side, and dyeing those a chocolate brown, doing this whole process over again, just so that I have like a warm toned pair of chucks and a cool toned pair of chucks. The way my brain is, I just like to have options. Oh my goodness, this video is probably going to be so long, so I appreciate you guys if you're still here listening to me ramble. I do sincerely appreciate you. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!